We need to find this man now.
Never seen him before in my life. He's a career criminal. This guy's really on a tear.
He's hijacked a car. And Elliot, there's something else.
Let's see what fighting looks like in our marriage.
Bring it on.
Say a prayer for Blake Shelton.
Stop pushing your butt when I push my button!
All right now.
This is not going good.
Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Robert De Niro. NBC Tonight.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
On our broadcast tonight, upgrades are coming to Antigo's water system. We'll break down how this will help the city fight fires. Plus, chronic wasting disease is growing in the deer population. We'll explain the signs and symptoms of infected deer. And a local school district is being recognized for its academic excellence. Well, the latest is your local news starts right now.
Your local news and weather from where you live. News Watch 12 at 10 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 10. I'm Jessica Jukic. A neighborhood in Antigo will get a new view next year as a century-old water tower is set to be replaced. News Watch 12's Jessica Leidy explains the replacement process.
Well, this has been slated. We've been looking at this for quite some time to replace this tower. Obviously, it's almost 100 years old. It's reaching its end of life.
Charlie Berkmeyer, project manager for the city of Antigo, says they are making strides toward replacing the water tower on First Avenue.
This water tower is nearly 100 years old. It served its purpose, and it's ready for retirement.
A $1.5 million loan from the DNR will help fund the new tower. Tommy Horswell, project manager for Infrastructure Alternatives, says the new tower will be even bigger.
This tower here holds 150,000 gallons. The new tower will hold 200,000 gallons. So we will be able to supply more water to the city. It will also increase our fire flow capacity for being able to fight fires throughout the city.
The DNR's Safe Drinking Fund might have specific guidelines, but the project team is working to meet those demands.
It's a combination. We work with the city, some with the public. We also, have to keep the state happy with regulations and everything else.
Brinkmeyer says the tower's color and logo have not been determined yet, but the water quality will remain top-notch.
Water quality stays the same. Obviously, all the water goes filtered through the water plant and then comes out into the water towers. So, yeah, they shouldn't notice a difference.
The process for construction and deconstruction might surprise residents. For a brief time, there will be 2 towers on the block.
Well, obviously, we have to first construct a new tower first. Get that one up, get it in service, and as soon as that one's in service, then we can begin removing this structure.
The project is expected to start next spring and continue through 2024. In Antigo, Jessica Leidy, News Watch 12.
It's a cool night, but warmer temperatures are in the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller joins us now. Jeff?
Yeah, hey, Jessica. Sunny 60s out there today. We'll do it again tomorrow and for Saturday and for Sunday and for Monday. A long, dry stretch is on the way as well. Look at these highs today. 62 in Rhinelander, almost 63 in Wausau, so a very comfortable day. Right now, though, it's a bit cooler. We're already at 41 in Rhinelander, also for Antigo. 39, the cold spot in Merrill right now. But you can see exactly where the wind has shifted out of the south across western Wisconsin. That's the air beginning to move our way. It will not be as cold tonight as it was last night. Lots of clear skies out there. Earlier gave way to some cloud cover. You're like, uh-oh, what's this? Well, there's lots of dry air locked in across Wisconsin right now. So all of this is kind of going poof in the atmosphere right now. That will keep us dry tonight and through the rest of the weekend. As there's just nothing over here right now, this will not mess with us until later on next week. Our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies with low temperatures down near 40. Your full forecast is coming up. Jessica.
Thank you, Jeff. Across Wisconsin, chronic wasting disease, which is better known as CWD, has been rising in the white-tailed deer population. The disease has caused the population of deer to decline in parts of the state. In the early 2000s, the first positive case of CWD was found in southern counties of Dane, Sauk, and Iowa. But since then, cases have been found in northern counties, including hunting ranches in Oneida and Vilas County. DNR specialist Jeff Pritzel says the rise in CWD has caused many hunters to change their hunting practices.
And in those areas of the state where chronic wasting disease is more prevalent, that may include the choice to harvest younger animals.
The disease is found in deer, moose, elk, and reindeer, but has never been found in humans. Many signs of CWD in deer include the animals grinding their teeth, walking in set patterns, and the inability to stand. They say that reporting is the most efficient way to monitor the disease.
So having an awareness of the status of chronic wasting disease in that area can play a role in the decisions that they're making going forward as to their harvest strategies.
The disease can be found in wild and captive populations. To find the DNR resources, go to dnr.wisconsin.gov. Today, the Wisconsin DNR announced that the number of wolves in the state is estimated to be around 972. While the wolf population estimate is lower than previous winters, the current population remains nearly as large and widespread as it's been in recent years. The DNR has been working to finalize a draft of the updated wolf management plan. The complete 2022 annual wolf monitoring report will be available on the DNR's wildlife habitat website once it's ready. A public review and comment period will follow release once it's available. Officials are warning some cases of monkeypox are more severe than they originally thought. The CDC noted some people with the disease have experienced debilitating symptoms. Those include painful lesions, some of which have become necrotic and led to amputations. Some patients have also experienced heart and brain inflammation. Most of the severe cases have also been seen in people who are infected with advanced stages of HIV. The majority of more than the 25,000 cases in the U.S. have been mild to moderate, with 1 death reported. Right now, there are 75 confirmed cases in Wisconsin, 1 case out of Langlade County. The ice bucket challenge that you poured your water on your head 8 years ago is bearing some fruit. The FDA approved a new therapy for ALS Thursday. It's been shown to slow the devastating paralysis caused by ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. A study showing the effectiveness of the medication was funded in part by money raised from the Ice Bucket Challenge that swept social media in 2014. That study was small, and the therapy is still considered experimental. Patients, advocacy groups, and physicians urged the FDA to approve it quickly because there are few other options to treat the life-threatening disease. Domestic violence has been on the rise in the state of Wisconsin. 80 people in Wisconsin lost their lives to domestic violence in 2021. That's 12 more deaths than previous years. In 2021, domestic violence homicides took place in 21 Wisconsin counties with a rate of 1 death every 4.5 days. Firearms were used to commit homicide in 67% of cases. More than 1/3 of those who used a gun were prohibited from possessing a firearm. Wisconsin students are experiencing an academic slide post-pandemic. Today, the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction released its student assessment system results. The study found 35.5% of students in grades 3rd through 12th were proficient in English language arts, and 35.2% were proficient in math. The study found more than 92% of students participated in English language arts and math testing. The tests were canceled in 2020 and had low participation in 2021. Student achievement increased in most levels from 2020 to 2021, but not at the same level from 2018 to 2019. The Rib Lake Middle School was built back in 1980, and while the building is full of upgrades, the original gym floor was still there and was beginning to show its age. Take a look at the new floor that was just installed. The school installed a synthetic floor rather than the wood, which makes it more durable and is a necessity since the gym doubles as a cafeteria. The gym also hosts high school basketball and volleyball games, among other sports. It costs the district $100,000. The U.S. Department of Education announced its 2022 National Blue Ribbon Schools, and one local school made the list. Rib Lake Elementary School was just one of 295 schools across the nation to be recognized, and one of 8 Wisconsin schools. The awards are for overall academic excellence or progress in closing achievement gaps among students. District Administrator Travis Grubbs gave credit to the principal, teachers, and support staff for working tirelessly for students. Grubbs said the school's goal is to make sure all students are growing.
And I think it's that care and compassion and focus on growth mindset that really drove that and led to some awesome results. So it's exciting to get to see what our elementary school students have accomplished and then where they're going to keep going with it.
Grubbs and 2 others will be flown out to Washington, D.C. in November to an awards ceremony with the Secretary of Education. Florida's reeling after Hurricane Ian hit the southwestern coast. We'll have a look at the damage it left behind and break down how many were killed in the hurricane. That's after weather right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Violent crime up across Wisconsin. Families nervous about their safety. Yet Mandela Barnes called for releasing half of Wisconsin's jailed inmates. That would mean releasing over 10,000 criminals right into our neighborhoods. 10,000 reasons your family would be in more danger. Barnes also supported defunding the police. 10,000 more criminals with fewer police to protect us. What could go wrong? Wisconsin Truth Bank is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome to Brickner's Park City Jeep Chrysler Dodge and Ram in Merrill. We invite you to visit our newly renovated dealership and showroom. We have over 60 Ram trucks in stock or on the way, with many that qualify for 0% financing. At Brickner's and Merrill, we rent 12 and 15 passenger vans along with minivans at very competitive prices. Pack the family into one of these for your upcoming trip and skip the airport. There's always a whole lot of good going on at Brickner's Park City Jeep Chrysler Dodge and Ram in Merrill. 1-800-499-JEEP or on the web at bricknersparkcity.net.
Music every weekend, never a cover, and drinks priced right. TV, pool, darts, and more. It's Happy's Pub in downtown Woodruff.
Visit Cabin Creations on your road trips this fall for unique decor, gifts, and more. And check out the Phillips Fall Harvest Fest October 1st. Huge auction, Hazelhurst, Wisconsin. Tools, guns, antiques, New Holland skid steer, trailers, home contents, and more. Contact Brass at St. Louis Auctions for more details.
Ron Johnson's at it again, lying about my taxes. Let's be clear, my taxes are paid in full, but there were times I was getting by on peanut butter sandwiches. And that's why I support a tax cut for the middle class. Put more money in your pockets, because I know how hard you work. But Johnson uses Tennessee to write a loophole that gave huge tax cuts to himself and his biggest donors, leaving us with crumbs. And that's how we get left behind. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
What a day today. Plenty of sunshine. High temperatures back up in the 60s for most of us today. Pretty much all of us tomorrow. And even warmer temperatures are on the way over Saturday and Sunday, with highs up near 70 on Saturday afternoon. Okay, right now, though, not so much. 41 at the airport in Rhinelander with a south breeze around 3. A dew point there very low at 36. And the pressure is steady at 30.61. Okay, over in Wausau, 48 for you. A southwest breeze as well. And that dew point there of 39. It gives you an idea where temperatures could go tonight with that dew point right there at 39. All right, so temperatures currently, we're hanging out at 41 in Rhinelander, 40 in Tomahawk, 39, the cold spot there in Merrill, but warmer temperatures off to our west. That's where there's a little bit more cloud cover and a southwest breeze over there, keeping things a bit warmer for now. That's the air moving our direction. All right, so the average high is 63, the average low is 40, the record low 24 back in 1945, and here's what the atmosphere still still can do. 81 is the record high back in 1948. And the sun set earlier at 6:42. Our days are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Okay, so moving forward temperature-wise, this is good, right, for the first week of October over here. Look at Friday, 65, 68 Saturday, a good-looking weekend, 63 for Sunday. And then I know your eye is going right there, right? A high of 47 next Thursday, but that's still a week away. Let's enjoy these 60s and maybe a 70 in the forecast on Saturday 1st. Lots of clear skies pretty much all day long across our area today, but then there's a little something over here across north central Wisconsin. This, though, is dying out as it moves in our direction. It's a little bit of energy. There is some clouds with it that'll keep temperatures up like a blanket in the atmosphere tonight, but there'll be no rain because our atmosphere is so darn dry across our area. It's all evaporating, but overall, there's no rain in our forecast for us anytime soon. Our forecast then tonight, for tomorrow, looking at mostly clear skies tonight and then partly cloudy skies throughout the day tomorrow with high temperatures back up in the mid-60s with plenty of sunshine. For tomorrow, further south, talking about maybe a 70 for Adams County. That could be a stretch, though, with plenty of sunshine across our land tomorrow. Our forecast tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies, not as cold as it was last night. Look for low temperatures down near 38 with a calm wind out there already now. For tomorrow, it's Friday. Oh, it's Friday. What a week, right? Lots of sunshine tomorrow. Awesome conditions. Highs near 65. We'll take it. Here we are with a southwest breeze around 5 to 10. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress shows tomorrow. Very nice day. Football games tomorrow night. No issues at all. Game time temperatures in the 50s, but you know those bleachers can be kind of cold to sit on, right? And then Saturday and Sunday looking at 60s again. A little bit cooler Monday to Tuesday, but who cares? And then a chance for rain back in the forecast on Wednesday before much colder air gets in here on Thursday. Jessica?
There's widespread devastation in Florida after Hurricane Ian slammed into the state's southwestern coast. At least 15 deaths have been reported, and officials fear that number could be much higher. Entire neighborhoods are underwater, power lines were torn down, and debris was scattered in the streets. But in areas like Sanibel Island, it's impossible to get there by car because the causeway is the only connection to Florida's mainland, and it's now in pieces. It was downgraded to a tropical storm as it moved east, but has now since been upgraded again to a hurricane. Now the Carolinas are bracing for Ian's wrath. A judge appointed by former President Trump at the end of his term has ruled in Trump's favor in his challenge of the FBI search of his Florida home. U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon is reshaping the plan put forward by the special master she appointed to review the materials seized at Mar-a-Lago last month. Cannon scrapped several aspects of the plan that would have required Trump to make uncomfortable assertions in court. For example, he would have to say whether he actually believes the FBI planted evidence at Mar-a-Lago as he publicly suggested. A jury has been seated in the conspiracy trial against 5 leaders of the far-right wing group, the Oath Keepers. The case is part of the Justice Department's investigation into the January 6th Capitol insurrection. Stuart Rhodes, Jessica Watkins, Kelly Meggs, Kenneth Harrelson, and Thomas Caldwell are charged with conspiring to oppose the lawful transfer of presidential power by force. They're accused of planning to stop Joe Biden from becoming president in January 2021. The 12 jurors and 4 alternates will be sworn in Monday morning with opening statements starting the same day. Fall sports is in full swing throughout the Northwoods. Coming up on Newswatch 12, Saul Meyer will have your roundup of high school soccer games in the area.
Under Governor Evers, hard-working Wisconsin families are being left behind. We're paying more for food, gas, everything. And Tony Evers tried to make us pay even more, a 20% gas tax increase, doubling the tax on home heating bills. And while Evers puts the squeeze on us, he wanted to give taxpayer-funded benefits to people who refuse to work. He even opposes drug testing welfare recipients. Tony Evers is leaving hard-working Wisconsin families behind.
Protecting your cargo is a must, because most times, it's more than just cargo. It's the memories, friendships, and adventures that are built with it. The late nights and early mornings. The races and renovations. From hitches to ratchet straps and everything in between, we've got what you need to get your cargo there safely. Secure your passion with 11% off Tow Smart, Smart Straps, and Cargo Smart products at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You heard the jingle man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
At Batteries Plus, we do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives. Need a phone fixed? We got it. Get powered in-store, curbside, and at batteriesplus.com.
If you think you have Dupuytren's contracture, there's a simple test you can take. From anywhere, try to lay your hand flat against the surface. If you can't, you may have Dupuytren's contracture. Talk to a hand specialist about your options, including non-surgical treatments.
The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Coming up on your Friday, we'll introduce you to a furry friend from the Forest County Humane Society.
And temperatures are on the cooler end and lots of clear skies. How long will that last? I'll have the answers coming up.
Sports Watch 12 with Saul Myers starts now.
There was a great Northern Conference meet for girls tennis earlier today at Lakeland Union that featured the T-Birds, Anago, Columbus Catholic, Medford, Newman Catholic, Pacelli, Phillips, and Rhinelander High School. And once the dust settled, the Hodags walked away with the GNC title, their 11th in 13 years. Coach Matt Nichols was awarded GNC Coach of the Year, and the duo of Taylor Riopel and Helena Wisner won the GNC Doubles Team of the Year. Congrats to the Hodags. Now moving on from Hodag tennis to Hodag soccer, as Rhinelander traveled up to Northland Pines earlier today to take on the Eagles. And this game featured plenty of action from both teams. Here in the 27th minute, Northland Pines down 1-0. A penalty in the box sets up this penalty kick, and the score is tied at 1. Later that half, Rhinelander makes a beautiful cross here, followed by another great pass right here. And after some fancy footwork, Rhinelander puts it in the back of the net to go up 2-1. A few minutes later, Rhinelander has another chance and an absolutely beautiful save right here from Pines. But their goalie wasn't the only one making stops. Rhinelander's goalie makes a diving block, and the Hodags go on to win this one 3-1. Now moving on to some more soccer, where Three Lakes hosted Iron Mountain earlier today. Here in the second half, Three Lakes already up 2-1. Some fancy footwork and accurate passing right here sets up an easy goal for Three Lakes after they were able to dribble around the goalie, and the Blue Jays are now up 3-1. Later in that half, a beautiful cross right here sets up a header, and Three Lakes is starting to blow this one open, going up 4-1 now. And they weren't done there. A corner kick for the Blue Jays, and they were able to score right here to make it 5-1. That ended up being the final score. Three Lakes takes it. Now back to Pines for some volleyball action. Here in the first set, after a long rally, Northland Pines is able to get the block right here, stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey. Later that set, the Eagles were doing it on both ends of the court as Pines was able to get a huge kill right here. Northland Pines might be the Eagles, but they were looking like Atlanta Hawks to Dikembe Mutombo with all these blocks they were having tonight. Not in my house. Did I mention this team also had some aces? Some big serving from Northland Pines, and the Eagles are going to win this one 3-1. Now on to some more high school volleyball scores from around our area. First off, Rhinelander traveled to Wausau to take on Newman Catholic, and Newman Catholic were able to come away with this one 3-0. And finally, Tomahawk, who is on a hot streak, headed down to Medford, and they won 3-0. Now, staying with Medford, Martha Miller, senior pitcher and utility player for high school softball team, announced her commitment to play college softball at the D1 level for University of Wisconsin Green Bay earlier today. Congrats and good luck on the season, Martha. Moving on from the pitch to the diamond, the Brewers were back in action today, and this game was a big one. With the Phillies' 2-0 loss to the Cubs earlier today, the Crew came into their matchup with the Marlins tied for the final wild card spot. A win today would put them half a game in the lead for the wild card spot, and they were so close. The Marlins had the bases loaded with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 8th and were able to get a grand slam to win it. They'll play again tomorrow night. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you, Saul. A popular sport is coming to the city of Parks. Coming up on Newswatch 12, we'll have a look at where the new pickleball courts will be installed.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Stone Innovations, Rhinelander and Plover.
No one goes all in on made-from-scratch freshness like Papa Murphy's. Because when you go all in, people notice. Go all in with the Triple Pet Pizza for just $11.99. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
At a company, the culture comes from the top. Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times over sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. Women who worked for Michaels' company said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Higher-ups at Michaels dismissed the women as liars and even fired those who spoke out. Is that what we need for Wisconsin? Tim Michaels, too radical, too divisive.
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead costs.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving?
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
No one goes all in on made-from-scratch freshness like Papa Murphy's. Because when you go all in, people notice. Go all in with the Triple Pet Pizza for just $11.99. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Pickleball is a sport that continues to grow in popularity across the area. Merrill recently announced plans to add 6 new courts in Otts Park. City Administrator Dave Johnson headed the funding for the project ahead of his retirement next week.
It's an amenity on the west side of town, and it's also a shovel-ready site. Everything is flat. There's minimal earthwork to do here. It's just a great site to put a facility like this.
The addition follows suit with other Northwoods towns like the ones right here in Rhinelander.
Other places are doing the exact same thing. They build multiple courts, and they don't just have singles playing or double play. They're actually able to have tournaments and leagues, and I'd like to see the same thing here, and I don't think we'll have any problem with that. I think it'll happen.
A grant from the Bierman Family Foundation will cover the cost of the courts in its entirety. The family has previously funded the Aquatic Center, Expo Hall, and lighting at the festival grounds. Bids will be reviewed this winter, and construction is expected to start next spring. We'll be back with one last look at weather.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Northwoods Furniture, Eagle River.
There's case after case. Women working for Tim Michael's construction company saying they were groped, sexually assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. When they resisted, they say they were threatened, called a liar, and forced to resign. And when co-workers spoke up, they were fired. If this is how Tim Michaels runs his business, how do you think he'd run the state? Tim Michaels' radical agenda is so very, very wrong.
You heard the Jingle Man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
The radical left hate America and riot in our streets. They indoctrinate our children to hate America, stoking fear and envy with their lies and deceptions. Their radical woke agenda and divisive politics are tearing our country apart. Here's Mandela Barnes.
Because the founding of this nation, awful.
Mandela Barnes is a radical leftist. He supports their woke agenda that's causing you and your family so much pain.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
In today's economy, it seems the value of a dollar continues to shrink, while the services offered are getting less and less. Here at Maher Water Corporation, a new high-efficiency system made by WaterCare can help ease the stress on your checkbook. We are always available to analyze and recommend one of these units.
So while we can't actually make your money grow, we can make the value of what you get from Maher seem like it.
At Big Valley Ford, we have a great selection of gently used trucks, SUVs, and cars. And we are ready to help you find the right vehicle to explore the North Woods. Big Valley Ford is passionate about every vehicle that enters our service center, and our team of technicians are here to help with all of your service needs. Whether you are looking for a new or used vehicle or need to get your current ride back on the road, stop into Big Valley Ford in Ewan, Michigan, and experience the Big Valley difference.
Huge auction, Hazelhurst, Wisconsin. Tools, guns, antiques, New Holland skid steer, trailers, home contents, and more. Contact Brass at St. Louis Auctions for more details.
Well, Jeff, I don't know.